Hi, how's it going? In this video, I'm going to tell you how you could take your sign and printing business and expand it into the franchising space. Stay tuned. Hey guys, how's it going? This is Peter Karunas with Shopbox, and today we're going to be talking about whether or not you should take your sign or print operation and expand it into franchising. So the very first thing that you should consider is if franchising is for you. Now, it's not for everyone, and I want to caution you before you continue on with this video that franchising may not be for you. And I'm not by any way telling you that this is the way that you should go. There are a lot of ways to expand your business, and franchising is only one of them. So the very first question that you have to ask yourself is franchising for your business? Is it for you? There are a lot of questions to ask centered around that one question. Is franchising for you? Well, very much. You might just simply say, yeah, sure, it's for me. But there are a lot of things to unpack. Let me give you a couple of helpful tips here. So for example, if you decided that franchising is for you, the very first thing that you have to understand as a sign shop or a print shop owner is that it is going to be very difficult to work inside your operation and do franchising at the same time. If you've decided that you wanted to be in franchising and go into the franchise space, in my opinion, you have to dive in with both feet. You have to kind of completely separate yourself from the controlling part of your operation, because franchising is a big space that requires a lot of time, mostly a lot of your time, because it's your company that you're going to be franchising. So let's go into a couple of the cost factors that are involved when you're getting yourself into franchising. The number one, the FDD creation. Now, there are a lot of companies out there that handle this for you. You have to do your due diligence and investigate and interview all of these companies and what they can do for you as a whole. A lot of times the best way and the best company to go with is one that has done your business before. There might be some potential savings there. But another angle might be to try and get some perks added into your FDD. For example, you're going to eventually have to open up, and that's going to require having a pre-opening manual. Having something like that created from the same company that created your FDD has the capability of giving you a little bit more value for your dollar. Another thing that you should consider, your team. This is a great opportunity to get your team involved. See what they think. Do they love this company so much? Is there a lot of people that build and invest their time in this? And if they can see other people doing this as well, then that might be a really good answer for you when it comes to, if you're just on the fence about franchising in general, having your employees give you their opinion might be a very helpful way of understanding if franchising is for you. All right, so let's just say that you decided you're going to go the franchising angle. You need to now figure out what your hot points are. Now, what are hot points? Hot points are those particular pieces to your brand that separate you from your competition. You have to take a deep, long dive into the current sign and print franchises out there and find out what makes your opportunity more lucrative than some of the other ones that are a little bit more seasoned on the current market. Now, this can be a lot of things. This could be diving into new, untapped product categories like 3D printing. You could be, if you're a sign company that's heavy into 3D printing, that might be your angle. That might be your number one hot point. It might even be an operational structure or an operational method that differentiates you from your other competitors. When I was the CEO of Sign Me Up Franchise, our biggest hot point was that our operational method was very different from everybody else's. I had installed a fabrication method into all of our stores. So in other words, if a customer walked into your store and wanted to buy a illuminated sign like channel letters or a light box or a monument sign of some kind, the point of sale system was tied to the back end wholesale fabrication point of sale system, and those two communicated with each other, which means you could get pricing from your supplier for those signs instantly inside the POS, which is very different from the current operational methods that are currently on the business. That was just my angle. I thought it was an angle that we can go after hard, and it ended up being a very lucrative angle for us. Or perhaps you're going to go with another operational method that is different than what's currently on the market. Maybe you want to install in today's day and age, in COVID-19 day and age, maybe you want to install a self-checkout process to your operational procedures. What does that look like? Do they walk up and do they go to a kiosk and select what they want? Like almost like a menu board in a restaurant. You know, you can select this, I want this sign at this size, and then it prints out a work order, or it texts them a work order. These are things that if your thought process were to continue along that path, you might be able to create a completely different franchise opportunity that is currently available on the market. Having a thorough and understanding of what separates you from the current opportunities is a good start. It's probably where you need to start, because you can then examine all the costs that go into it. You're going to have to take some time and outline what it would take a newbie who has no recollection or no understanding of the sign business whatsoever, and has to go into it and understand all the costs that are associated with it. What are the equipment costs? What are the operational costs? What are the marketing costs? What are the accounting costs? You're going to have to outline all of those in a very detailed way that makes someone who's going to read it understand all the costs that go into owning your particular brand when in a franchise opportunity. And finally, the most important part of this video is going to be here in this: franchise development. Let's just say you decided that franchising is for you. You found out what your hot points were. You were okay with the costs of creating your FDD, creating your operations manual, creating your pre-opening manual, creating your training manuals. Here is where the number one reason why franchises fail. They do not have enough capital to hold them over for the time that it's going to take to sell your very first franchise. This is what we call franchise development. So franchise development, taking the operation side of your business out of the equation. You are now in charge of selling your franchise. Selling your franchise in your state that you're currently in, selling your franchise in the region that you're currently in. This is going to take a hefty investment. Lead generating for franchises is very different than lead generating for purchasing signs. Every lead pretty much costs somewhere between $35 $55. And if you really want to get down to the metrics, and you can find this on Google, it probably takes anywhere between 35 and 45 leads in order to get one good customer opportunity, in order to get one good lead that might be interested. So that's a lot of investment into one particular opportunity. So it's a big player's game. It requires a lot of investment. It requires a lot of time. It's not for everyone, but if done correctly, and if you have those hot points, and if your investment level for your franchise opportunity is lucrative enough, it can be a fantastic way of expanding your brand and getting your brand out there to the masses. I hope this video answered a lot of your franchising questions. If not, please leave your comments and questions below, and I'll be happy to do a follow-up video. I'll be happy to answer. This is Peter Karunas with Shopbox. Stay positive out there.